Hi, it's Richard Walker here, the Happiness Doctor. I've been networking again. Yesterday at Harpender Business Connect, we had a presentation from the lady who runs it, Kate Cherry, and it was very informative, very touching. She was describing the things she's gone through developing her business, but she was presenting how to be motivated, how to be organised, how to make the business work, and how to really improve things for her. And it got me thinking back to a conversation I had with a sales guy who was with DFS, the furniture people, and he was going through a bit of a low patch at the time, and I sat down in the couch there that I was about to buy, and I said, well, you know, in my view there are only three things that go wrong with motivation, three issues to do with motivation. I said, and the first thing is, are you ready for this? Because this is quite top level stuff, this is kind of big picture, you know, not the detail, but it got me thinking about it. And there are just three things. Anything else is clouding the issue. The first thing, right? The first thing is there's something you always wanted to do way back in your heart that you really love to do, but you can't. I say way back, it might be now also, but it might be something you've long since forgotten about, but you really wanted to do it, but you feel you can't because you couldn't make money at it, or you're not clever enough, or you're not rich enough, or you're not tall enough, thin enough, wide enough, slim enough, black enough, white enough, coloured enough, special enough, something enough, fitting enough, whatever it is. And that's about personal doubt. So that will affect your motivation because you won't do it because you've got some kind of lack of self-belief going on. Or you'd be too successful, and if you were successful, then that would stress you. Something going on, some doubt, yeah? That's the first one. The second thing that goes wrong, and this is probably more common than anything, the second thing that goes wrong with motivation is, so number two, it goes like this. This is most people's jobs. You're really going to do this because you've said you will. It's the right thing to do, it's the only way to make money, or it's the only thing I've got time for, or it will fit in with the children. It's the one thing, and you insist on doing it because, or to go along with the family because they wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer or something. Or you've got into it and you've started, so you've been a scientist, an accountant, a business owner for so long, and you must do it because you said you'd do it and because it meets the requirements. But your heart isn't in it. Your heart isn't in it. And if your heart isn't in it, what's going to happen to your motivation? Exactly. It's a bit like homework. You know, you ought to do it, but frankly, you'd rather go out and play football or watch the telly, or because your heart isn't in it. So your motivation will sometimes be up and then other times be down because your heart isn't in it. You'll never be successful at something your heart isn't in. Not truly, not long-term successful, not in terms of your happiness and fulfillment. There'll be a price to pay. There'll be a pickup on that. There'll be a tab you pick up. It could be your health. And the third thing that goes wrong, so 1, 2, 3, I can't remember which way we went. The third thing that goes wrong in motivation is like a mixture of the other two, in a sense, and it goes like, well, no one ever said that I'm allowed to do what I want. No one ever said I can create my own goals. I was a good boy, I went along with things, or I fell in with things. So the third thing is, no one ever said. It never occurred to me that I was allowed to do what I want. So what happens? Sometimes you have good days when it matches up with the things you care about, and sometimes you have down days. Does that sound like normal life? So the three things that go wrong. One is something you'd really like to do, but you've got doubt. So your motivation to do that fails. The second thing is, we'll just drop them back. Second thing is, you're doing something that you really don't want to do. So motivation will rise and fall. And the third thing is, no one ever said to you that you're allowed to do what you want. So they're the things that you're dealing with. How to untangle that? Well, maybe you've already got a few ideas, but that's the kind of thing that I'm often dealing with. It's just a thought for the day. Have a nice weekend. Bye for now.